Okay, the more I learn about America, the more I am utterly disgusted to a level I'm wanting to vomit. Um, Regardless of banning abortions and things. So now I learn that how the tipping system works. I've learned that a while ago, but even worse. So I'll explain the bullshit tipping system in America. What I mean by tipping: restaurants, waitresses, waiters, um, public services, customers can tip. Fine, we do that across Europe. That's a good thing to have, but it's not used as an obligation. Customers across Europe and in the UK should not feel that they're obligated to tip. That's not how, obviously, it's everything about America is just how much money you can make and get people consuming. That's it. That's not a culture, by the way. Not really. There's Americans who are programmed into what they think that they're taught is a culture. It's not. It's just, oh, you're useful for my business. It's not a culture. Get the people addicted to consumerism and entertainment, and nothing else matters. Tipping is even taxed in America. You vile, disgusting, degraded bunch of idiots. And that's not to say everybody. That's to say your system, who those big fat corporations is what I'm calling that, who condone this money machine, keep going, this slavery, this economic slavery. You never got free from slavery. You are a slave from the moment you're born to the moment you die in America. You're actually a slave. You really are. The many companies in America, with the waitresses expecting to be and waiters expecting to be tipped because it's more like an obligation. Tipping across the whole world, apart from America, tipping, the mindset is you don't really think about it. It's not important, not much, but I've tipped before and had a meal, very pleased with service so much I just leave a bit of money in the dish. Usually staff put that all in a jar and it's all theirs. Perhaps the whole staff can have a works do at the end of the year. That's kind of typical. Or they might put it into a charity box. That's typical as well. Charity for people who need healthcare, perhaps. Go look at America. It's one big charity for people who need healthcare. If you look at GoFundMe, 1 in 3 pages are Americans begging for money so they can afford some life-saving medication or life-saving operation. Which GoFundMe really should change their name to America's Charity or Charity for America. And the tipping thing is like, sure, there's a minimum wage across Europe, and there's a minimum wage ruling in the UK, so you don't go below that. And most places pay a little bit above that. So they're within the law, you pay either minimum or slightly above. You get a job in the UK, most places, the majority, 90+%, you get given a pension, then you earn X amount, a little bit goes into your pension. Automatically. X amount goes into your national health service when you're earning as well. But if I was to not tip, that's okay. That's not, I think, because it's not a mindset of your employee saying, oh, you need to be more amicable with customers, then you'll get tips so I can continue to pay you the lowest wage and be obligated. You're obligated to do that because I'm not going to pay you any higher. You're disgusting, America. You're vile through and through. It's a social experiment gone horribly wrong. The fact that Trump even is still given a podium and a microphone is vile. It's disgusting through and through. This horrible person doesn't talk about facts. They keep, everything is superficial, like saying things like, oh, I'm leading in the polls by what? How much? He will never ever give you statistics, numbers, facts, and when he does come out with a claim that to sounding like a fact, you go and look it up. California has the most strict gun laws, but he thinks it's Chicago. Not true. There he is live right now. CNN is covering this weirdo. He's panicking now because, of course he's panicking. It's continue his nonsense, his garbage, or get locked away. Because to his worldview, it's the only chance he got. And he really wants to be a dictator. Same with, like, Hitler was this weird individual with a square moustache and some outlandish ideas, but they still fell for it because it was using emotional talk, pulling the emotional strings. I've talked about this before. Giving no facts, but divide and conquer. These foreigners are disease, they shouldn't come over, and this was Hitler's nasty, fear-based, pull the emotional strings, get them scared and afraid, and critical thinking, analytical thinking gone because you got individuals too scared. His build a wall to stop foreigners coming in the wall was never finished. And sure, if you're going to stop, you need to find a way to stop illegal people. But building a wall wasn't sufficient. You're going to dig under it and you find a way over it. But it was never finished. Of course, Mexicans never paid a dime for it. Of course, that was all stupid. And he's still the same rhetoric now. Trying to claim, build a wall and all this. The man is beyond any reasoning related to the real world. There isn't any one thing going on in his head that is related to facts, other than, oh, there's a microphone, there's a podium, I'll talk to the crowd. He barely even knows where he is, what he's doing, when he's doing it. He forgets names of people and gets names wrong. He gets the leaders of other countries wrong. But what's happening now, you got the MAGA cult getting smaller and smaller and smaller. As the cult gets smaller and smaller and smaller, there's something else that happens. They try harder and harder and harder and harder. What have I said about these dysfunctional people in the world who they just think, oh, if I try harder, tried so hard and got so far. Linkin Park who's ringing out. In the end, it didn't even matter, right? And this is what Trump does. This is what MAGA cult does. They get less and less and less, and they try harder and harder and harder. Of course, they try harder and harder. The ones that still hanging on, because those dumbest of the dumb are the ones who are never going to change. They're going to keep trying harder because they're not smart enough to realize it's them who is part of the problem. Why things aren't working for them, it's them. Why things aren't working for Trump, it's him. Why things ain't working for the MAGA supporters, it's them. But for fuck's sake, America, stop giving idiots like this a voice. I understand these news, to some degree, these news feeds. Oh, this is business, given, and we cover it and all that. You're covering garbage. Nobody's learning a damn thing. Come on. America is a social experiment gone horribly, disgustingly, backwardly, primitively wrong through and through. You fail on every single metric. By the way, what's going on in the UK? I'll do a separate video on that. And there are masses of crowds gathering in cities over the last few days. Not fighting, but so many of them peaceful, pushing out these racists, these fascists, these garbage, hateful individuals. You want Trump in power? You're going to get way more. Your masses of crowds will be in your cities, but they won't be peaceful. Because it's an all-out attempt to hate the world. Trump's drive is just emotion and primitive thing. You get told you can't do this, then in the next breath is like, why not? This is America, the best country in the world with liberalism and all this. It's fake. You're a freaking slave through and through. You don't pay to give birth in developed countries across the world except for America. You don't. You absolutely don't. You don't pay an extortionate amount. You get given social care. Socialize. Of course, you hear the word socialize and you're programmed by garbage like that Trump and people like Trump put out to think, oh no, that's communism. In what way, shape or form is it communism? You can't say. You can't tell it. Oh, we just feel that way. Yeah, because you're programmed by emotion being higher than critical thinking because you're a slave to consumerism and entertainment. You're a slave. That's what you are. The average American is a slave. Many Americans, as I've said many times, are absolutely sick of their own country because of this garbage. Sick to the core. And they agree. I said, get out of America while you still can. The Statue of Liberty represents an erosion of your liberties, not your liberalism. It's literally rusting. There's a depiction of a broken chain at the feet of the Statue of Liberty to celebrate your freedom from slavery or freedom from opposition, from Britain. Some history there, but you're not taught anything of that. Is why history is important in America. And there's kids in America thinking that, oh, these are just stories, like fictional stories made out to be in the past. It's no wonder you believe that, because you keep looking at prehistoric and all that. Any knowledge on that? Well, you got theme parks based on younger creationism, which marries up a agreement that there is dinosaurs that did exist during a certain period in the history of Earth, but we didn't, not then. But it's trying to teach that children rode dinosaurs, rode on the back and rode around on dinosaurs, and the Earth's flat, and all this garbage, and they're taught some factual things in school, so they don't know it's all just stories. It's all just for money. It's all just entertainment. Education is not important because education is just for entertainment. They just don't understand what education is. They don't understand what facts are relating to the real world. It's just information to entertain you. This is why you're falling apart, because there's America like it's its own planet, and then there's the rest of the world. There's America and the rest of the world. Guess what? There's the rest of the world. I underline that a million times. Other things going on in other countries that kids are hanging around in a shopping mall know nothing about, and when they're asked, they seem to feel like they're obligated to give an answer when they actually It's like they're too proud or too much pride to actually say, well, I don't know. You're an embarrassment to your own country. This sudden realization that America has fallen is a decades-long realization from the rest of the world. It's not just sudden. It's the world's been warning about the encouragement of products like Trump. Trump is a product of America's environment. He's disgusting. He loves his fast food. He's selfish. All he does is pull the strings for getting people to consume his garbage. His consumerism, entertainment. Facts don't matter as long as he can get control. And this is what America does. There's no care of another fellow human being. Helping each other, help each other. There's none of that. You're on your own in America. The world looks at America and wants to vomit. I'm serious. I'm not even trying to be hyperbolic or vitriolic, whatever. You're vile. And it's shameful. It makes me want to cry. It makes me it makes me feel so sorry for those who are in America that I do communicate with through the internet and other means. I know a couple in the UK came over from America, and I asked them would they go back. They're hell no. And they're pretty much in agreement. They're disgusted with America. They never realised just how backward America was comparatively to their way of life now. And they wouldn't change it for the world. Change their way of life now. But you don't see the British running around going, we're the best country. We know we got issues. We got riots happening in towns here and there. We got a racial issue. Anti-cultural issue. Really more than race. Because, we're all one race. A human race. Doesn't matter, my genetics, if certain gene types were turned on, I'd be darker skinned, whatever. There's so much the same between different, what's known as phenotypes, scientific term, from one person to the other. If a certain gene type is turned on or off, it would dictate your hair color, your robustness, your lack of robustness. It's just, my eyes are kind of like green, hazel, whatever you want to call it. And you have like eye coloring for blue, green, brown. All the genetics are there. My brother's eyes are blue. I carry the genes from my father, probably for that, because his eyes are blue, but my mum's eyes are the colour of my eyes, so that became the one that was switched on, right? Father's hair is very thick, very fair, like thin. Mine's not. So, in all intents and purposes, there's a number of gene types typical of my mother, and I find comfort in that because my father's a bag of shit anyway. So, but I'm not going to go into detail. Unfortunate, very unfortunate. Well, basically, let's just say consumerism and entertainment was more important than mum. So see that this is like a disease that is encouraged. Trump went and had sex with a porn star during his partner giving birth to her son. Trump would walk into changing rooms when he was in charge of this beauty contest. He's one of the ones that had something to do with being in charge. Can't remember the full story, but he'd walk into the changing rooms unannounced, claim he was inspecting, The man's disgusting through and through. But what's worse is this is a product of America. He loves his junk food, and you know, junk food being very addictive. That's great for business. Businesses who create this type of food, they don't care if you're going to shorten your lifespan. It brings the money in, get them consuming and entertained, and this is the American way. Facts don't matter. That's why Trump keeps blurting out things that cause an emotional response, gets his MAGA followers to consume and get entertained, but learn absolutely nothing about the facts, because every time, like I said, he comes out with what he claims is a fact, you find out it's wrong every single time. He might get someone's name right here and there, but that isn't right half the time. Leaders of other countries, he doesn't get their names right. I know more about America as a citizen who has never had American citizenship, long-term citizenship in America, right? Than Trump does. And here you are. Here we are in a world where he was president of America. I can't find the words to express how absurd that is. How weird and backward that is. This orange umpa given power of the country with the most powerful weapons in the world is dangerous. He wanted to use the military to put on display, and like an evil dictator would, probably come out dressed in all these medals that don't mean anything. You can just imagine it. That's his fantasy, his image. He wanted to be Hitler 2.0. He's racist. He's misogynistic. He's inept, socially inept. He's all of the things that America claims to be against, because this is America, the freedoms and all this. Keep waving that flag. His material was probably made in China anyway. Thanks for watching. Take care. I'll look forward to doing another video else, and maybe on the other channel as well. Another video soon anyway. Cheers. Bye.